Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom to those joining us. Let's turn back to page 120, 121. Jackie, you want to light? We'll light candles together, page 120, 121.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvah tov v'tzivanu lahaglik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed art you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvah, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Let's sing together. Le'adlik ner, le'adlik ner, shel Shabbat. All right, Shabbat Shalom again. Let's turn ahead in the Siddur to page 132. 132, the last four lines on the page, in the Hebrew or in the transliterated. You can read along with us. Or Zarua. Or Zarua latati ule Yisrael. Tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho. Or zarua latzadik ole Yisrael. Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher kodsho. Ay la 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 la. Ya la ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom, David. I think maybe over here is where the Sidurim are. You got one there? Okay, good. All right, let's turn ahead to the bottom of 135. You should feel like you're starting to relax. I don't mean to tell you how you're supposed to feel, but that's how you're supposed to feel. You should feel like you're beginning to unwind, like you're letting down your defenses, like you're in a different place, in a different state of mind than you were an hour ago. You should feel like your heart rate is slowing and your breath is evening out and being more rhythmic and deeper. Sometimes those things just happen to us normally as we come into a different place. And sometimes we have to think about it a little bit and really work on it to make ourselves unwind, reacclimate to a different kind of being and a different way of being. The Shabbat way of being. 135. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu ve'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu ve'har kodsho. Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. With me, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ya la la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. La 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 la, ay la 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 la, ya la la la, ay la 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 la, ay la 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 la. 138. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד. השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, 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 כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה עליך דודי לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה. We stand and face the entrance, בואי בשלום עטרת מעלה. גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה. You can be seated. You ever wonder how it is that we know it's Shabbat? How do you know that tonight begins Shabbat? Well, it's kind of a simple question, really, right? How do you know? Well, I looked at my clock, I looked at my watch, I looked at my calendar. People have known what day it is for a while already. And I guess there's a certain reliability to the calendar and to our clock and to everybody's on the same day. I turned on the TV this morning and they said it's Friday morning, so I know that tonight is Shabbat, right? And just for a moment, I want us to appreciate the thought behind that assumption. There's actually a lot there. How do you actually know that today is the day? Because television is not that old. It's barely been around just our own lifetime. And radio just a little bit before that, and heck, even published calendars aren't really all that old. 1,000 years ago, was there a published calendar? There wasn't. So how do we know? Maybe we got off by a day or two, a year ago, or 10 years ago, or 1,000 years ago. Maybe it's actually Wednesday, but 1,000 years ago they made a mistake and they thought it was Friday night. We don't know. We really don't. But I have news for you. We know. You know how we know? Us, the Jews. For at least the last 35 or 4,500 years, the Jews have kept Shabbat. We've counted the days, we've watched the stars and the planets rotate. We know what day it is, we know what month it is, we know when the new moon is, we know when Shabbat is. So even if the whole rest of the world is off, even if the calendar is 100% wonky, even if there's no real way to be certain beyond the last few hundred years that we're on the right day, you can feel confident that tonight is Erev Shabbat. Because we, the Jewish people, have counted the days, and we've known when Shabbat is for 1,000 generations. Now maybe that's not 100% super duper impenetrable, reliable, but it's pretty darn close. And very often as I stand on the evening of Shabbat, I am just amazed that I'm participating in such an ancient rite, an ancient ritual that ties us to the very rotation of the earth and the cosmos around it. Let's sing together in the middle of page 141. About 6 lines up from the bottom. Mikol od ma'im rabim adirim nishbeveyam adir b'marom Adonai. Kodesh Adonai leorech yamim. (142) Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hashem Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruchuni L'Shalom Malachei Hashem Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Seidchem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We stand page 144. 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabba be'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomeichon ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבא מבורך לעולם לעולמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shmei dekudesha b'richu, li'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imeru. Amen. Turn the page to page 146. I la 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 la, sing loudly. I la 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 la. I la 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 la. I la 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 la. I la 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 la. I la 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 la. I la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai Hamevorach. Together. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Le'olam va'ed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Le'olam va'ed. You can be seated together. The English in the middle of page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening together. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Varavim. Again, together in the English, 150. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praised are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We stand for the Shema. Sink your feet into the ground. Try to feel extra your connection through your feet into the earth. And as you sink your feet into the ground, stretch your head up, your spine, your neck. Try to feel like you're being pulled towards heaven while still remaining deeply rooted in the earth. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad again. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You can be seated. We turn the page. 154. Let's recite together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We stand page 158 מי כמוך מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לבני משה ומרים זה לי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל page 162 ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל לא לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. 164. Adonai, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך, Adonis. שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. Together on 166, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Anora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imaot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. 170. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We continue the Amidah quietly, 172 to the end of the Amidah on 180, and we'll join together there. Shalom Aleinu Ve'al kol Yisrael Ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel Ve'imeru Amen. Oh, say Shalom Bim Roma Buya, say Shalom Aleinu Ve'al kol Yisrael Ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel Ve'imeru Amen. Lai 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 Ya la ya la 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 la. You can be seated. Let's turn ahead with our hearts and our spirits open to page 371. 371. Offer a prayer for healing for those who are ill and those in need of healing. We'll recite the blessing. I'll pause in the middle and give you an opportunity to include names of those who are close to you, who are ill, and who you are praying for their recovery and their healing, including those of you who are at home. Please let us know. Misha Berach Avotenu Vimotenu Avram Yitzchak Yaakov Sarah Rachel Leah. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill, including
Linda and Steve Ely, Rebecca Goodman, Robert Whitlock, Tully Vintner, Mila Binstock, Keith Hood, Ken Burdett, Andrew Wheeler, Edwin Speck, Shelley Perkle, Linda Jarrett, Kay Mather, Tom Diak, Powell Hassel, Frank Gomez, Roxana Gomez, Pat Beeman. And
Julie Shaven, Harry Katz, Philly Bonehawk. Yes.
Peter Yarrow, Morrison, Felice Friedman, Katie Adler, Linda and Steve Ely, Andrew Fine, Barbara Freed, Jessica Kirkpatrick, Margot and Jerry Hunt, Rabbi Richard Baroff.
Ron Robinson, Barb Yarber, Phyllis Falk, Susan Eilers, and Ann Owen.
Linda Ehrenseff, Joe Wagner, Sherry Silver, Barbara Frank, Lois and Ellen Sorkin, Uvana Thomas, Louise Lyon, Maurice Sellers.
Let's sing together. Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema. the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Yes,
A few more names from
Yes,
the
please.
chat list.
sure.
Daniel Bordeaux, Jonathan Paradis, Gordy Bordeaux, Rachel Q, Barbara Yarborough, Tanya Hurst, Eddie Young, Lisa Miller, Bonnie Miller, Sandy Tajan, and Jerry Wells.
Thank you. Good Shabbos. Good to see you all. Glad you made it out tonight. I don't know if you knew this or not, but today, in addition to being Erev Shabbat, is also International Holocaust Remembrance Day. There's an international day that's slightly different in its date from the Jewish calendar, which marks Yom HaShoah, closer to the spring than to the winter. And there's reasons for the different dates. That's neither here nor there, though it's an interesting discussion why it is that the international community chose one day and the State of Israel and the Jewish community chose another day. But nonetheless, today marks a kind of international effort to remember the Holocaust and to remember the denial of Jewish life and liberty. It's easy, I think, to get lost in the enormity of the Shoah, of the destruction, really, of European Jewry. And I don't want to do that, but I do want to try for a moment to consider just what an enormous wound and suffering it really is. Maybe you're familiar with all the statistics, all the numbers, the details, but one that always sticks with me, maybe this is just, personal, I take it personally, but 90% of the world's rabbis were murdered in the Shoah. 90% of the world's rabbis. Realize what a devastation that is to a community? It's unfathomable, really. So I don't want to reflect on the enormity of the cruelty and of the loss, even as I don't want to diminish it or downplay it. But I really just want to reflect very briefly on what I think is an essential lesson from the Holocaust as regards religious life and liberty. I think we're very, very fortunate in the history of the world to live in a place that understands that religious liberty matters. I believe that's a core value of the United States. And it is not a shared value everywhere in the world, so I don't take it for granted that we live in a place where we are free to be Jewish and where the government of our country stands ready to protect us, at least within a certain measure. I don't want to exaggerate that, but I don't want to downplay it either. That's really quite remarkable, and it's unusual in the history of the Jewish people under the governance of other
religions. We live in truly a remarkable experiment where a diversity of religious expression is presumed. There's very few places in the world where the compelling majority of the population is not a single religious expression. So we live in a really amazing, wonderful place at a really amazing and wonderful time. At the same time, we would be foolish to think that that somehow means that that's always what was and always will be. Because we know that that is not true. Anybody who's even a moderate student of history knows that tides change and that the Shoah was unpredictable in its time. And so we must understand that our own future is not always predictable. And we have to at least somewhat operate under the uncertainty that that represents. And so that brings me to my simple lesson. Religious freedom is only as meaningful as your ability to defend it. It's very simple. The truth is, and I hate to say it this way, we don't have religious freedom beyond the religious freedom which we can guarantee and protect. That means that we must take responsibility for our own religious freedom. And along with it, the religious freedom of everyone else who lives with us. It is only that freedom which we can defend and make real that we really have. And that is true of everybody, not just the Jewish people, but it is certainly true of us. There is no guarantee of our life and liberty. And so that places the responsibility on our shoulders and all that that means. I want to conclude with, it's kind of a serious quote, but from Golda Meir, who is one of my heroes. One of the, I think, the true heroes of Jewish history, as much responsible for the religious freedom of the Jewish people as any other person in human history. And she said, I'm paraphrasing, she said, what I'm suggesting is nothing less than the idea that we have committed ourselves to live in such a way that those Jews who died in the Shoah will be the last Jews who ever died without defending their life. And I would include, and our liberty. Do not take those things for granted, and understand that our freedom, our life, our liberty, and our religious freedom, our ability to live as Jews openly and freely, depends entirely on us and our willingness to stand up for it. And so to me then, that becomes a part of the mitzvot, of our religious obligation, includes the obligation to defend our religious freedom. Good Shabbos. Okay, let's stand and turn to page 586. David, would you come and open the ark, please? We'll sing Aleinu together. The second paragraph on page 586. Either way, I think right to left. There you go. Yeah, there's a little rod there. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו גויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Let's read together the English in the middle of 588. For you spread out the heavens and established the earth. Your majestic abode is in the heavens above, and your mighty presence is in the loftiest heights. You are our God, and there is none else. In truth, you are our sovereign without compare. As is written in your Torah, know then this day and take it to heart that Adonai is surely God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch leolam va'ed ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו ושמו אחד. We mark the yard site this week for Doris Potter, Fanny Levitt, Charles Frank, Abraham Dubrican, Elsie Eagle, and Michelle Roche. We also remember the yard sites of those who've passed in the last 12 months, for whom there are still mourners, either in Shloshim or in the year of mourning. Ed Gallup, Frank Perrone, Barbara Babbitt, Eugene Schmuckler, John McPeak, Dennis Clausen, Ellie Freed, Curtis Young, David Bogart, Roland Jolin, Mark Commissarau, and Ruby Fletcher. Pardon? Ruby Andrews. I'm sorry. That's what he wrote on my sheet. That's all right. We're all good. Jackie, you want to say anything? Judy, you want to say anything?
Yep. Rabbi had a lesson in Old Russian names this afternoon. My grandfather was the quiet one of the couple, and I can remember him. I don't know if he really enjoyed taking me everywhere, or he just wanted to get away from my grandmother. but I can remember him taking me to Mets games and Yankee games, and the most fun thing I ever did with him was the Thanksgiving Day parade in Manhattan, and then getting to go to Horden Hard Arts afterwards and getting the hot chocolate out of the lion's mouth.
Nice, thank you. Bobby? Sweet. Anybody else yortzites tonight? Tehenish motam surot b'tzur chaim. May their souls be bound up in the bonds of life, and may their memories continue to be a blessing. Let's say the mourners Kaddish together. 598. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah be'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei b'chai echon u'v'yom echon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'omei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Hey shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Please be seated. Just a couple announcements tonight. Y'all have anything in the back? Any officials?
There'll be a TBD Board of Trustee meetings on Wednesday, February 1st at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Details are available for members on our website.
Good. Also want to wish a happy birthday this week to Bill Kern, Sandra Lesser, and Barry Nicholsberg, all of whom are celebrating their birthdays this week. If you see them, wish them a happy birthday and many happy returns. I want to let you know that my Thursday class continues. We had 2 in the 4-part series on subversive sequels. The third will be this coming Thursday, and then the 4th one the week after that. Please join us for those. Classes will continue beyond those 4, but we'll change up the topic a little bit. I want to make a little bit of a pitch for our Tu B'Shvat Seder. For people with kids and families and anybody else who wants to come to our Tu B'Shvat Seder. That's on the 5th of February, and it's just going to be really nice and fun, and a chance to really spend some time with the kids of the congregation and the families of it. So I just feel like the more time we spend together, the better. Along that same lines, I want to make a pitch. This is not a pitch against Friday night, but it's a pitch for Saturday morning. I really want us to get like a consistent, good, minyan-sized crowd for Saturday morning so we can read Torah. I just feel like we should be reading Torah at least, semi-regularly here. So to the extent that you can make it on Saturday morning, you all joining us remotely or those of you here, come Friday night and Saturday morning, as much as possible. That's it for my announcements. Anything else? Anybody else? If not, please join us for Kiddush and a little bit of Oneg. Shabbat Shalom.